Hi, and welcome to my channel. It's Janine. If you are new to trying to conceive or about to start your journey, then this video is probably perfect for you. Now, let me just preface this by saying I am not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor or a nurse. These are just things that I've learned along the way that I found to be beneficial. But if you do have any concerns or questions about your cycle or what's going on with your body, definitely pick up the phone and call your doctor. With that being said, let's get started. The first tip is to get a preconception checkup. So I timed mine with my annual women's wellness exam, so it worked out perfect. I did it about 6 months before I knew I was going to start trying to conceive. So they did the pap smear and the HPV check, and then I was able to ask all the questions about lifestyle changes, diet, prenatals, and just kind of go over my overall health with her. And so that was a great time to do it. It's a good way to start your journey. The second tip kind of goes hand in hand with number one, is the prenatals. So I did ask my doctor when I should start taking them. She said that I could start taking them, or that I should start taking them within 3 months of trying to conceive. But it didn't matter if I started early. So once I finished with the multivitamins I had, I just went ahead and picked up some prenatals with DHA and got to start ahead of time. My third tip is to pick up Taking Charge of Your Fertility. I cannot recommend this book enough, by Dr. Tony Weschler. It's probably about this big. It's pretty much a textbook. I picked it up from the public library and my mind was blown. I couldn't believe that at 33 years old that I had no clue what was going on with my body. I've been on birth control for so long that yeah, my cycles were regular because I was on synthetic hormones. But your body does this amazing thing every cycle, and I just had no clue what it was doing. I didn't know there was a follicular phase, that there was, ovulation. Well, I knew there was ovulation, but right after ovulation, there's the luteal phase. I just had no clue. And I felt pretty silly as an adult not knowing this. So I cannot recommend it enough. Definitely check it out. It's worth it. And some of the chapters you don't actually have to read. Like I skipped the menopause section because it wasn't relevant to me. So I read probably 75% of the book. The fourth tip is also piggybacking off tip 3. Charting. It's so important to chart and monitor your cycles. There's this misconception out there that every cycle is 28 days and that you ovulate on cycle day 14. This is not the case. For example, I have PCOS. My cycles have ranged anywhere from 56 days to 147. That's a very big difference. So not everybody has these textbook 28-day cycles. So it's really important for you to make sure you find, whether you do it on paper or you do it on an app, find an app that is not just predicting based off that, textbook 28 days, and that it's looking at the data that you're inputting. So I recommend Fertility Friend. There's tons of apps out there to choose from. I just prefer Fertility Friend because it's more science driven. Once you learn how to monitor your cycles, there's other things involved. For example, basal body temperature, which you also learn in Taking Charge of Your Fertility. See what I'm doing there? I keep telling you about it. So basal body temperature is one of the only ways to confirm ovulation. And aside from doing a blood test that would measure your progesterone. So basal body temperature is really important. And then there's also ovulation prediction kits, which will detect an LH surge, which is a hormone in your urine that also can help predict ovulation. For someone like me with PCOS, I can have multiple surges throughout a cycle and they're actually false and I don't ovulate. So that's why me temping at the same time was very beneficial, because then I could tell when, oh, that was a fake out. I did not actually ovulate. So just a couple things that go along with charting is basal body temperature and OPKs. Definitely worth looking into. And then my fifth tip is to know what your fertile week is. So once you've been charting and you've pinpointed that stuff down, then your fertile week is really important. Because again, There's this misconception. People think that you can just get pregnant anytime during your cycle. That's not the case. There is a very limited window, and for most people it's about 5 days. So 3 days before ovulation and 2 days after. Again, with a little wiggle room there because everybody's body is a little different. So once you're in your fertile window, it's good to time intercourse for every other day, because then you're hitting 1 to 3 of your fertile days. If your partner has high libido or has a high sperm count, then you could go every day if you'd like, but it's not really necessary. It's not going to increase your odds anymore. It's just the more sperm that you can have waiting for the egg at ovulation, obviously the more chances you're going to have, but the sperm has to get there. And that's all I've got for you today. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe below. I am going to be sharing other educational videos before I start IVF, and then once I start IVF, I will be sharing more about that process. So again, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching.